For years now, peace has been reigning over the continent of Hesperia. The feats of ancient heroes, warriors, and magicians will live on as legends and children's bedtime stories. Everything is back to normal. Markets and trades are flourishing, raids of marauders are rare, and brigands have mostly taken to dwell in hidden groves and forests. However, wizards have lost control over their dark experiments. The Tower of Balinor has become the cradle of new races and monstrous creatures. They now roam free in the lands of Kael'Sanar and beyond. Leon, a powerful wizard withdrawn to the shadows, belongs to this world. Leon plans to carry out his obscure designs and bring back the darkness of his own past. He had studied at Balinor under the great wizard Raymond until he decided to take his own path. Leon would never forget the people who helped him survive when he was but a boy, age 6, just as he will never forget who took him away from his family, from everyone dear to him, and from his kingdom. Now, he feels the time has come to take everything back. Thanks to his magical talent, he's mastered all of nature's elements, but he has several choices to make. He could expand his powers. The task would set him on the research of the book that will allow him to learn a new type of sorcery bound to blood. His own master had revealed to him the existence of the manuscript. Or he could look for a tomb hiding a crucial artifact, a relic containing the blood of 2 ancient wizards. They both had the power to dominate all 4 of nature's elements, just as he. Of course, he could also recruit some allies. What would be better than befriending a dragon? A hooded figure trudges through the rain, supported by a cane just as tall as him. He has just left the Tower of Balinor and has no intention of turning back. He meditates on his ambitions and craves a new beginning for his life. His heart beats madly as he steps along the path. The dull sky, laden with clouds, mirrors the torment grasping his chest. Leon has a good soul, but he shall bear no limitations to achieve his goals. He faces 3 choices. Leon enters the Rulath Forest, an area that has long served as the home of several outlaws. Reminiscent of his mentor's stories, he remembers that the tomb of Hesperia, the magician who had protected him as a child, should be here. The tomb guards a medallion containing the blood of 2 wizards who, like him, were able to control all 4 elements of nature. He must have it. Thanks to the instructions in the Blood Magic book, he will uncover the secrets that will allow him to fulfill his claim to power. Leon explores the darkest nooks, looking for telltale signs. A shadowy atmosphere surrounds him, as if he were inside a cemetery, or worse, an open-cast crypt. An ill feeling rushes through him, such as he has never felt in his entire life. After wandering for several hours, Leon finds 2 tombs. They are both just simple mounds of rock, with no apparent markings. However, opening the wrong one might wake up the dead. He examines the tombs more closely and finds a detail he hadn't noticed before. The first tomb seems to have some old, small, clotted blood stains, while the other displays normal signs of wear due to the effects of time. He made the right call. After some major effort and a few hours' work, Leon retrieves the jewel. Weirdly enough, his old keeper's bones weren't inside the tomb, a fact which leaves Leon quite astounded. He takes the silver pendant. The medallion is divided into 3 sections. 2 contain a red liquid, whereas the third is still empty, ready to receive more blood. Leon must now learn to master this type of magic. He's fascinated and can hardly wait. Leon decides to go after the Book of Blood Magic. He heads northwest for the city of Remagast, close to the border with the cold desert. He might find an old acquaintance there to start issuing his first commands. His journey proceeds smoothly, and after about 1 day, Leon crosses the city gates. His eyes meet a ghastly scene. Remagast is still in ruin. Triumvar Lotanor, the blood wizard who tried to take over Kael'Sanar, had dealt it a harsh blow. Though the wizard was defeated, he had been able to hide away the secrets of his sorcery. Leon had been able to gather such information due to being closely tied to the wizard's story. Their hearts were just as dark. He moves among the alleys of the city, heading to a tavern with a sign so badly faded that the name can no longer be read. He has the feeling that his man might be within those walls. The hall is crowded and the noise is deafening. Nobody notices his entrance, save for a bald, pale head, which turns to face him. His pointed ears move as if they have a life of their own. Leon recognizes him right away and heads for the elf's table. Good day, Ankalimo.
Good day to you, Leon. What brings you here?
My design is moving forward, declares the wizard with ill-concealed pride.
What do you need me to do?
Head to Snelfos, gather the army, take the city, and ready yourselves to move against Balinor, Leon orders.
Has the time finally come?
Indeed.
What are you going to do?
Asks Ankalimo, intrigued. I will retrieve something which will render us invincible.
No time to lose, then.
We need to act now, declares Leon. Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to restore his energy. After fleshing out the last details of his plan with Ankalimo, he resumes his journey to the north. First, however, he must carefully choose the enchantments he'll rely on. Triumvar Lotanor was able to bend all of nature's elements to his will, so he needs to be ready for any circumstance. As evening falls, the wolves' howls echo in the ominous landscape. The wizard comes across an imposing jet tower. Searching around the complex, he locates the door with surprising ease. Leon is skeptical. He had expected some sort of magical ploy to be hiding it. Perhaps all of Triumvar's enchantments were lifted upon his death. However, his sixth sense warns him that something isn't quite right. Examining the tower thoroughly, he finds the bones of a mouse. A trap appears to still be operational. Leon studies the corpse closely and analyzes the ground around it. He notices that the bones are broken and the soil seems to be overturned. The wizard must now choose which magic to use to safely enter the tower. Shoot a jet of water against the door to tear it down. Lay one hand on the door and turn it to sand. Create a vortex to get to the windows high above the door. Burn the door. It's made of wood and will give in easily. The window's shutters are open, and Leon enters the tower effortlessly. The room is pitch black, save for a single glimmer of light that shines on a desk. As Leon takes a step forward, the windows shut abruptly and everything fades to black. A heavy silence looms over the room. The only sound Leon can hear is a dripping noise that grows increasingly louder until it resembles that of a babbling brook. The water soaks Leon's feet, soon rising to his ankles. Even though he can't see anything, he must hurry. Leon feels his way around the room. Light a flame in the palm of the hand to light up the room. There must be something to stop the flow of the water. Solidify the floor to stop the flow. Create a water barrier around Leon. Fighting water with water could be the winning choice. Searching the room, Leon finds an hourglass on the desk, the only object in the otherwise unadorned chamber. Leon tries to pick it up, but the base is fixed to the desk as a sort of lever device. The movement stops the water flowing in from above, and it starts to drain out through several nozzles that sit along the walls. Meanwhile, a door opens, pointing him towards a long and winding spiral staircase. It leads up to the top of the tower. Leon bolts in as the door shuts behind his back. This time, the room lights up completely. The chamber is circular in shape, and at its center lies a bookstand with a significant tome on top. Closing in, Leon reads the title, Blood Magic. Everything seems easy, perhaps too easy. But Leon has a shut door behind him, and there is no way out. Out of nowhere, a fire elemental appears, ready to jump on the sorcerer. Summon a water elemental to fight the guardian. Summon an earth elemental to fight the guardian. Leon kills the guardian and takes the book. A secret door opens along the side of the tower, and he steps in. A row of torches lights his path. Even though he can't fathom how any of it is possible, 1,000 thoughts rush through his mind. He has faced many dangers, including death. However, he had done it. The tunnel takes him outside, from where Leon will resume his journey. Without hesitation, Leon decides to head to Laganasan. The cold desert is an inhospitable region inhabited only by outlaws. Its border is marked by an imposing metal fence. No one has ever been able to climb over it. Several barracks are placed along it, evenly spaced, with hosts of soldiers. Each troop is numbered. The changing of the garrison takes place but once a year. A patrol sees Leon and stops him. They warn him against heading across the border alone. Leon tries to pull rank as a sorcerer, meaning to persuade them to let him through. Instead, the soldiers surround him and escort him to the highest ranking officer.
And this is?
The captain inquires.
He wouldn't say.
One of the soldiers replies.
Talk then, or I'll lock you up.
My name is Leon. I'm a wizard of Balinor.
He speaks. What brings you so far from home?
My business is none of your concern.
You arrogant fool. I'll have you whipped before I'll throw you in the cell. Now answer my questions.
The captain of the guards is infuriated, and Leon doesn't like orders. The wizard must now decide whether to submit and start answering, or to attack. Unleash a fire wave all around him. Summon a bundle of roots to strangle the others. Discharge an air blade to behead the soldiers. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm on a secret mission on the wizard's behalf. Leon is fast, and the soldiers have no time to react. His hands are as quick as his tongue, and he unleashes the spell. Despite the devastating effects on his opponents, he is safe. The sorcerer smugly smirks. The maimed bodies of the foolish men lie on the ground, the smell of blood and guts beginning to taint the stale air of the barracks. Once over the border, Leon explores the area. The ground is black, as if covered by volcanic ashes, and the climate is much colder than that of Kelsinar. Under a matte gray sky, dark sand and desolation goes on as far as the eye can see. Walking his tedious path, he chances upon a lonely traveler. The two spot each other from afar, but do not try to avoid the inevitable encounter. The traveler has scaly skin, and a forked tongue darts in and out of his mouth as if he were a snake. He stops in front of Leon.
Who are you?
He asks. Someone very dangerous if you get in my way. A friend, if you choose to trust me.
Your name is...
Leon Munar. You may have heard of me. The other doesn't reply. His eyes open wide, and he falls to his knees.
Now I recognize you. Your fame and your past precede you. I am Therion, your humble servant.
Cautiously, Leon asks him to explain.
Everyone knows of the last great wizard able to dominate the elements. What brings you here?
I have my reasons. I should kill you for the mere fact you've seen me, but perhaps I won't. Leon's threat sparks fear in Therion, startling him.
I am sure you'll find me useful if you spare me.
The wizard seems to mull over the plea and decides to test him. I'm looking for the dragon who dwells in these lands. Do not question me, just answer, as I have no time to lose.
You need to head north, my lord. You'll find a black hill surrounded by bones. There you'll find a cave. That's where the reptile lives. No one dares approach it.
If you have spoken the truth, wait for me in the city of Snelfos. I'll reward you fairly. If you are lying, however, I will seek you out and I will kill you. How will I cross the border, though? It's under surveillance.
Barracks number 7 is empty.
Without adding anything else, Leon resumes his walk to the location divulged by the creature. After some time, Leon finds the hill surrounded by bones, just as the Snake Man had described it. The glacial cold is in sharp contrast with the burnt color of the dragon's lair. A strange feeling grips Leon's stomach, but he doesn't give in. He knows which way to go. A nauseating smell comes straight from the cave's center. There, he finds a huge reptile, curled up and resting. It is motionless, snoring blissfully. This is the moment of truth. Here, Leon could find a powerful and nearly invincible ally. The wizard decides to step into the cave, and an eye is soon upon him. The dragon rises abruptly, spreading its mighty wings that take up the entire den. It roars and bellows a flame upwards. The dragon is imposing. Next to it, Leon is merely an ant. Its back is covered in scales, while its belly resembles that of a snake, slimy and gross. Leon's gaze follows the coils of fire as they rise. He notices that the hill's ceiling is open to the skies, allowing the creature to come and go as it pleases. A primal fear grips the wizard's heart, but his determination prevails. The situation is critical, and he must act now. Attack the dragon with a blast of water. Conjure a wall of water to shield himself from the dragon's first strike. The wall of water conjured by Leon shields him from the blast of fire, confusing the dragon. Leon must seize this moment and decide whether to hurl a volley of water blasts at its head to knock it out without wounding it, or to block the movement of its limbs by summoning roots from the ground. Leon's idea isn't a bad one. Despite its size, the animal can no longer move. This allows the wizard to enter the dragon's mind. As he tries this, however, the sorcerer notices that the strength of the beast's paws are allowing it to unravel the cage of roots. He needs to give up on his attempt to overpower the dragon's mind and find another solution quickly. Try to freeze the dragon by creating an ice storm. Create a water elemental. Summon spikes from the ground as spears. It turns out to be the winning choice. Unprotected by scales, the stone spears jab the dragon's soft underbelly. With a dreadful cry, the beast falls, its life fading. The goal of forging an alliance has gone up in smoke, and Leon is exhausted. From now on, he'll have to carry out his plans without being able to count on the dragon's support.
Several years have passed since Leon set out to seek his obsessions. His stubbornness resulted in a war for the conquest of Kael'Sinar. However, he has yet to acquire all the knowledge he needs to dominate the nation, and with time, the entire world. As part of Kael'Sinar has fallen under his heel, the resistance has risen to stop him. The head of the rebels has hidden in the Ismaran forest. He has called for a council to end the war and destruction wreaked by Leon. He is aware that people need a hero to inspire them if he is to gain back the trust that continues to falter day after day. The head of the rebels is none other than Raymond, the wizard who once ruled the Tower of Balinor. He turns to a ranger to search far and wide for the only person who could take on the role of such a hero, the famed Daragast Lyar. As Raymond mulls over the desperate situation, he sips a glass of wine in his austere tent. He indulges in a singular, quiet moment before the volunteer for Daragast's search is called inside. And Corin, a young, green-skinned woman, steps up. She's a sylph and an expert tracker. She belongs to a new race, another failed magic experiment. However, instead of isolating herself from the world, she wishes to be part of it, so as to give her life meaning. And Corin wishes for acceptance. She longs to leave behind all the years of abuse and mistreatments. She has joined the resistance, seeking deliverance from her past.
And Corin, I'm glad you've come forward for this mission.
I want to help the cause, Raymond. Sylph replies. Where do you suggest I begin?
The most recent intel we have dates a few years back and comes from 3 different locations. You could try looking in the city of Akma, the forest of Rulath, or in Rost. Unfortunately, we can't tell which are trustworthy.
I'll depart immediately, Ancoran declares.
I'll be eagerly waiting for your return.
Ancoran bows to Raymond and takes her leave to start packing for her journey. She needs supplies, weapons, and money. But first, she needs to choose where she's heading. The village is quite rural and is mainly dwelt in by farmers and shepherds. You have no idea who to look for. The intel you've gathered is scarce. The only thing you have is your man's name. Rost's inhabitants don't seem to fear you, even though your look is definitely out of the ordinary. Perhaps they've seen strange creatures already. You ask a few people for Daragast Lyar, but no one can help you. You get to the blacksmith's shed, and a grizzled man with a toned body quickly glances at you. He continues striking at the horseshoe he's working on with his hammer. The metal seems to be singing.
How may I help you?
The blacksmith asks. I'm looking for a man.
Name?
Daragast Lyar. The blacksmith nearly loses his grip on the hammer.
He's dead.
Something tips you off, and you continue to press the man. I don't think so. Your reaction speaks volumes. The blacksmith threatens you with his hammer, his eyes flaming.
You'd better listen to me and go back where you came from.
The blacksmith looks down and continues his work.
The man you're looking for left long ago. I don't think he shall ever be back.
He replies evasively. Kael Sinar needs him.
No. The rebels need him. You have no hope.
At least we fight!
And you shall die. Every last one of you.
If Daragast should ever show up, tell him he can find me in the Ismaran forest with Raymond. You turn on your heels and leave without waiting for his reply.